Hey, today I'm bringing you a story that might mess with your imagination, and maybe even your nerves. You've probably heard the legend of the blonde in the bathroom, right? But what if I told you this time it's not just a scary school tale? Stick around until the end, because what you're about to hear is based on a true story, and it's chilling. Have you ever heard of the blonde in the bathroom? It's one of those urban legends whispered in school hallways all over Brazil. Everyone knows someone who swears they've seen her or knows someone who did. But what if this time it really happened? This isn't just a rumor. It happened to a girl named Maria Clara. And what she went through that night, no one has ever been able to explain. If you love scary stories, buckle up, because this one, it's next level. Maria Clara was 16, a serious student, calm and focused, and she didn't believe in anything supernatural. Ghosts, spirits, just made-up nonsense, she'd say. And the story of the blonde in the bathroom, she found it laughable. The legend had been around for years. Some said a blonde girl died tragically in the school bathroom. Some said it was an accident. Others whispered she had been bullied. No one knew for sure, but the ritual stayed the same. If you went into the girl's bathroom, knocked 3 times on the last tall door and said, "Blonde in the bathroom, appear," she would come. Maria thought it was silly, until one night, everything changed. It was the night before exams. The school was nearly empty. Maria had stayed late to study in the library. Around 9 p.m., she decided to take a break and head to the bathroom. On the way, she checked her phone. The class WhatsApp group was buzzing. Some classmates were joking about the legend. One said, "Go on, Maria. Do the ritual. You're the only one left." Another joked, "If she shows up, she'll probably ask for help with her homework." Maria chuckled. But then she thought, "You know what? I'll do it, just to prove there's nothing to be afraid of." She walked into the bathroom. It was totally empty. The neon lights buzzed overhead. A faucet dripped. That little sound echoed in the silence. She walked to the last stall, knocked 3 times on the door. "Blonde in the bathroom, appear. Blonde in the bathroom, appear. Blonde in the bathroom, appear." Nothing. She laughed, felt kind of stupid, turned to leave, and then she heard it.
A whisper, cold, soft.
"Maria."
Her body froze. The smile dropped from her face. Her heart was pounding. Slowly she turned around. At the end of the bathroom, near the mirror, was a figure. A girl, tall, pale, her skin almost transparent, long blonde hair hanging in front of her face, and her eyes? Empty, faintly glowing. Maria tried to scream, but no sound came out. The lights flickered, the figure stepped closer and closer, then darkness. She doesn't remember how, but she ran. Through the empty halls, panting, eyes wide, but something was wrong. The doors seemed farther away, the corridors stretched endlessly, and behind her, that whisper again. "You called me." She finally made it outside, collapsed in the courtyard, soaked in rain, shaking, but alive. The next day, she came back to the school to look for her phone. She dropped it in the bathroom. When she picked it up, she saw the camera had been recording. Curious, she hit play. There she was, doing the ritual. Everything looked normal, but in the corner of the screen, the figure appeared, slowly coming out of the shadows, approaching, almost touching her from behind, then static. From that day on, Maria changed. She started digging into the story, found old newspaper clippings, bits of forgotten reports. A blonde girl, a student, bullied. One day, she went into the bathroom and never came out. Her body was never found. No one ever talked about it again. The school had buried the story. Almost no one remembered, or pretended not to. The creepiest part? The girl's name was also Maria. Months passed. Life returned to normal, or something close to it. A new student arrived, outgoing, chatty, curious. She soon heard about the legend of the blonde in the bathroom. "That's just a silly story," she said, laughing. I'm going to try it myself. She went into the bathroom, walked to the last stall. Grinning, she said, "Blonde in the bathroom, appear. Blonde in the bathroom, appear. Blonde in the bathroom, appear." Silence until a voice whispered, "Maria." Some legends don't want to be forgotten. They just wait, quietly, patiently, until someone dares to call again.
So, do you still think the blonde in the bathroom is just a story?
If you enjoyed this story, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chilling tale. Share this video with your friends, especially the ones who love spooky stories, and tell us in the comments, what would you do if you heard your name in an empty bathroom? See you in the next video. Until then, be careful what you say out loud.